Yeah, we're back here again, folks. The Great Reset on the Strategic Intelligence site for the World Economic Forum. Remember, all those gloves could be next after masks. What? What? Ministers are looking at hand coverings too. Oh, this is just getting insane. Okay, this has literally just come through a couple of minutes ago. Well, as you saw, a couple of seconds ago. And they now want to put us in gloves, folks. Yeah, gloves as well as masks. Yeah, it's going to be the full biosuit next. You can't go shopping unless you're in a full biosuit, you know? What complete and utter madness has the world descended into? Yeah, and this is where it's all going, the Great Reset 2024. So, back on to this is the global hub of the conspiracy, the World Economic Forum Strategic Intelligence site. I am a subscriber, so I get news alerts and updates, and they really do wind me up, some of them. The Agenda, it's called the Agenda Weekly, their newsletter. Yeah, I mean, it is. I said to John, he's put it at the bottom. Yeah, I said, this is on his article here, Mountains of Debt. So, John is an expert in financial matters, although he's a bit coy, to say the least. I'll just refresh that. I did send him the information from the World Economic Forum today, and I've told him, and he's put it at the bottom, this is me, of course, everyone knows. John, if you have not subscribed to the World Economic Forum Strategic Intelligence Plan, then you need to. My guess is all the progressive, globalist type communist MPs are already subscribers. You will get a running commentary via news alerts on how the communist revolution on the back of this alleged virus is going. Yeah, and you will. It's right here. Yeah, I had to reset the password to get in. Here it is. So, yeah, you get the Agenda Weekly, and they tell you that there's going to be a great reset coming. It's the fourth industrial revolution. Here. Where is it? It is here. Yeah. Russell, don't miss out on this week's edition of the Globalist Communist Revolution update. Yeah, so what they're doing here, spotlight on the circular economy. What's trending? Yeah, what's trending? To build a better future, we must reinvent capitalism. Here's how. Okay, that's what's going on. To reinvent the future, we must all work together. Yeah, collectivism, communism. How the pandemic is changing the economy. That's the whole idea. How the massive plan to deliver the COVID-19 vaccine could make history. Okay, what vaccine? What vaccine? They're talking about a vaccine before there is a vaccine. Because obviously, you know, COVID-19 creates a perfect storm for the extreme weather season. So, yeah, this is what's happening. So Boris at the moment is running simulations in August for extreme weather, starting sometime after August. Yeah, extreme weather. We're going to have extreme weather, and we're going to have, second waves of this virus, alleged virus, and all this is going to push us to, the brink. I mean, obviously, that's the way it's going now. We've just had a report through a minute ago that they're going to put us in gloves, masks, and now gloves. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so thanks to the ongoing pandemic. Yeah, are you getting this, guys? Look, this is how the article starts. Thanks to the ongoing pandemic. Yeah. Okay, so we should expect COVID-19 domino effect, triggering further disruptions, positive as well as negative, over the decade ahead. Okay, so we're going to have a domino effect. This is what they're planning. Yeah, Boris likens the lockdown to the nuclear deterrent. He'd like to keep the nuclear deterrent in case he needs to use it again. Well, according to Boris's analogy, we're all dead because that's mutual assured destruction. So we are all dead, according to Boris's analogy. We've used the nuclear option in retaliation to this virus and mutually destroyed ourselves. Yeah. And okay, so here it is. Boris Johnson orders army to plan for horror, COVID-19, Brexit, flu and flood catastrophe. So this is the weather, as predicted, this major weather event we're expecting, as predicted by the World Economic Forum, which also predicted the global disaster in the care homes. Hint, hint. I can't say too much on YouTube. And we've got breaking news down here. France second wave. Yeah, absolute tyranny everywhere, including in France. Coronavirus panic after sharp increase in cases for second day. Okay, panic in France. So they don't need to do another global shutdown when they're doing regional shutdowns all over the place. And we've got Blackburn next. Yeah, in Blackburn, and I mean in Leicester, it's the same sort of narrative they're pushing because it plays to people's prejudices. In Leicester, you've got the army rounding up a lot of elderly Muslim people wearing face masks. In Blackburn, they're saying that one of the main mosques, I think, needs to be shut down again, and that's spreading it, and everyone's being traced there. So, you know, see what they're doing and what areas they're locking down to start with anyway, but it will be all of us in the end. They always start by playing on our prejudices to get the green light for their tyranny. Okay, so Boris Johnson here is ordering a simulation starting in August with the army. Now, we don't have simulations unless it's going to happen, do we? The government worries the second wave of coronavirus could overpower the NHS. Oh, rubbish. Major flooding incidents. Okay, so yeah, what are they going to do? Seed the clouds? They can do that. They can make the weather. They can manipulate the weather. They can seed the clouds. They can make it rain and rain and rain if they want to. If that's what they're planning on doing. Anyway, there you go. We've got a simulation for a major disaster. And that's what will happen. There will be some sort of a major disaster because they need a series of major disasters to push this fourth industrial revolution. And they're saying on the World Economic Forum website, they're actually saying there's going to be a domino effect of disasters. So, you know, that's the plan. And that's the inside word. Isn't it? So the circular economy and the Great Reset. So just listen to this. Harnessing the fourth industrial revolution. If you read through their list, by the way, everything is an opportunity. You know, this is the opportunity. COVID-19 is the opportunity for this whole restructuring. I mean, I do recommend that you become a subscriber to get the inside track on what's going on here on this World Economic Forum Strategic Intelligence site. Okay, the Great Reset. The world is at a historic crossroads, yeah, as pre-planned, caused by this pre-planned virus. As economies everywhere attempt to pull themselves out of the COVID-19 induced hiatus, the damage inflicted has been horrific in terms of lives taken and livelihoods lost. It's been all self-fulfilling. It's been caused by the lockdowns, it's been caused by the non-visitation orders, it's been caused by hospital appointments being cancelled, and, no pandemic. However, it also presents an opportunity. Disgusting. However, it also presents an opportunity to rebuild in a more inclusive and responsible way. Okay, remember when we used to find it, really distasteful and disgusting to capitalise on alleged horrific events to push agendas? Well, we forgot about that a long time ago, way before the ISIS attacks, before 9/11. Now, that's the done deal. That's how they constantly terrorize us and bring us to our knees and push forward their agenda. Okay, so this is what it's all about. This entire phony pandemic was all about presenting an opportunity to rebuild in a more inclusive and responsible way. The reinvention of capitalism and the Great Reset. Coronavirus related lockdowns provided a glimpse of what is possible in terms of limiting pollution. Can you believe that? I mean, just think about how the nerve of, that's what it's all about. They've got us on lockdown and they're going to put us on regular lockdowns because they think they're saving the world. We're not going to be able to fly anywhere. Air travel is going to periodically be banned. for periods of time to let the Earth recover. Coronavirus-related lockdowns provided a glimpse of what is possible in terms of limiting pollution, and the pandemic's human toll illustrated what can happen when healthcare systems and social safety nets are neglected. Now it's up to our leaders in the private and public sectors to seize the moment and help create a more equitable and sustainable society. So yeah, a restructuring of society along communist lines. The UN Charter is like the Soviet Union Charter. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. That is what it's all about. It's a restructuring of capitalism. It's the harnessing the fourth industrial revolution and revitalizing global cooperation, global governance, and creating the future. The world is changing. Get ready for the future. Yeah, changing on the back of this phony virus, and that was the plan. Yeah, that was the plan. Okay, so let's see where this takes us then. So what's trending? So top news for insiders and politicians and MPs and people who are subscribing to this is the reinvention of capitalism, which is happening right now. So let's click on this and see what they say. Okay. To build back better, we must reinvent capitalism. Here's how. So the pandemic has brought into focus many vulnerabilities. Also offers us a chance, to shape a more resilient and sustainable world. Electric vehicles, they've done a whole report. You'll see in a minute on here on the Correct Action platform. I'm going to take you. Big news for electric vehicle sales have gone up in the last few months. All the industries that they want to promote now, and that they're being bribed by, and that they're in bed with, and they're being lobbied by. There is no need for a Green Party anymore, because the politicians have decided that they're going to be ultra green, but not because they want to save the world, just because they've managed to weave a big money-making scam out of the whole thing. Okay, so thanks to the ongoing pandemic. Yeah, are you getting this, guys? Look, this is how the article starts. Thanks to the ongoing pandemic. Yeah. Okay, so we should expect COVID-19 domino effect, triggering further disruptions, positive as well as negative, over the decade ahead. Okay, so we're going to have a domino effect. This is what they're planning, and the disruptions are going to be positive and negative. The wave of civil unrest that spread across America and beyond recently may be one example of what we've got coming. It seems likely that the pandemic contribution to the context in which anger is boiled over into outrage and unrest following the death of George Floyd. Okay, so this was definitely a staged event. Other possible COVID-induced discontinuous ahead range from a full-blown financial crisis to a step change to global. First time I've read it. Some analysis now reckon that fossil fuel demand may have peaked for good. Okay, that's the end of fossil fuel. Now we're moving on to a nuclear electric system. Now I've got a lot to say about this. A lot to say. I've been doing a hell of a lot of research into this because I knew this was coming. The virus has highlighted many vulnerabilities within business, supply chains, economies. Yeah, that's all the old economy which they want to destroy. Post-crisis, it has underscored the interconnectedness of our natural, social, and economic systems. Yeah, this is the globalized global governance initiative, and inclusive and green recovery is vital to society. Yeah, true recovery will not be about putting things back in place. We need to build back better to reset if we are to address the deep systematic vulnerabilities the pandemic has exposed. For businesses, building back better is about much more than corporate social responsibility. It's truly aligning markets with the natural social economic systems on which they depend. It is about building real resilience, driving equitable and sustainable growth, and reinventing capitalism. Resilience. The challenge of decarbonising entire economies can be the source of demand needed to kickstart economic recovery and create good jobs. Now more than ever, integrating climate goals into business strategy can be a vital driver for long-term success. Okay. If we don't seize the opportunity to build back better, to reset and reinvent rather than return to normal, systematic risk and vulnerabilities will continue to accumulate, making future shocks both more likely and more dangerous. Future shocks or future viruses. Despite the tragedy, we must leverage the COVID-19 pandemic, and make sure that it becomes a catalyst for a profoundly positive transformation of the global economy, taking us closer to a world in which everyone can live well within planetary boundaries. Okay, COVID-19 action plan. The media's role during the COVID-19 pandemic. Internet governance. Users are ripe for exploitation by the Internet's dominant business model of targeted advertising and protection from the asymmetry must become an Internet governance priority. Any governance efforts can be judged according to their ability to preserve dignity. Without that, the Internet has the potential to devalue into an instrument of factional struggle. As long as opt-in capability is not to communicate, users who have little time to see will be manipulated. Users who have little time for decision making will be manipulated. Because as much as it is a platform for opportunity, knowledge sharing and growth, the Internet remains an active platform for potential abuse. This briefing is based on the views of a wide range of experts in the World Economic Forum. 5G absolutely central to the whole restructuring agenda. Do not suppress me anymore. I'm getting fed up with it. I'm in such a bad mood this morning. Okay. That's why they're suppressing us, guys, because we're talking about the truth. We're talking about what really happened. We're talking about the most scandalous thing in recent history. Okay. And that was what happened in old people's homes, care homes, while we were all out there clapping. Okay. So you're not allowed to say this. So we're going to have to devise some code words like the first century Christians did. To get around it. So this is what's happening. This is going to be our future now. So we've got a domino effect of disasters coming. Now, when we get a report in the Sun here that ISIS are plotting for a fresh wave of attacks on the West, because the lockdown has allowed them to regroup, and the lockdown is being blamed here, it is feared that attacks could be launched as lockdown restrictions ease across the globe. Okay, so yeah, we've got to go in lockdown if we don't want ISIS to attack. If we start easing the lockdown, then ISIS can, and that is going to be another of the many justifications for, lockdown. Presumably we're going to come out of lockdown now. They're going to fake a load of ISIS attacks, and that's going to be blamed on, liberty and freedom. And security experts believe a worldwide recession could aid ISIS in growing the organisation. What this means is it means the 322 people, the same people who are behind this 322 shutdown, lockdown, fake pandemic, they're orchestrating a load of repeat ISIS phony attacks. So we had a load, if you didn't know, all them ISIS truck and car attacks, everything really, the mass school shootings, the Las Vegas event, all of them fake and staged, all of them. This is what's been going on. Politicians fake major news events to scare us and to push agendas. Okay, and that's why, for those of us who have been on the ball and know that all 17 of the ISIS truck and car attacks, and again, this kind of thing that gets you some thumbs down if people don't realise, They just can't believe the kind of stuff I'm coming out with now, but it's true. It really is true. We researched it, and they were all fake and staged, all of them. So, that they've been doing this for a long time, and the COVID-19 thing was just, their icing on the cake, their big, bonanza, their big finale, showcase, to push through their 1984 police state agenda. So, so that's what we've got coming. Okay, this is coming. More of this. They're not going to get away with it. And I just want to give a big shout, a big thank you to my mate in Australia, Anaconda, the one and only 17.
And when you pop the top, the panties drop.
Yeah, he's given us a promotion here. It's really nice of him. But I just wanted to make mention of this. Really good video, as always. But this article, how do they get away with it? These are educated, professional people. Isn't this a doctor? Here she is. Is she a doctor? Okay, so my internet is just so ridiculously slow. It's just embarrassing. But let me just see if I can put the phone up by the window.
We realize that this virus is very serious and can spread easily. We cared for a 30-year-old patient at the Methodist Hospital who told the virus is very serious.
Okay. Basically, by the
pandemic. And we're just trying to share some real-world examples to help our...
Okay, so it's not a real-world example. This is discussed. This made it to the mainstream. Anaconda's busted it, but Wired followed it up. I just had a little Google of it after I saw the video, and I found this article. It is complete... It's an urban legend. It is an urban legend, and it is fake news, of Anaconda's channel. There's a video down here which he tipped me off about, and you've got to watch videos like this if you're serious about understanding what's going on in the world, and why it's going on. I think it's that one. The UN and the occult agenda. Okay, I'm only sort of 3/4 of the way through it, so I haven't watched it all yet. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight, but it's quite long, 1 hour 26. Okay, I'm giving a shout out for this video. This is basically going to reveal that the whole agenda, what's going on now and why it's going on, and the forces behind it. The Bilderbergs, the Masons.
United Nations?
And I did a video not long ago about Balfour. Balfour will appear here again. This is... the rebirth of Israel, trying to fulfill the Bible prophecies, literally. This is all a Masonic hoax, psyop, to push forward a fake second coming. And the UN is the fake sort of kingdom of God on earth. It's all... they've got outside the UN building there, the fulfillment of is that Isaiah 2 about beating your swords into plowshares, same with the EU as well. The EU is fulfilling all the Bible symbolism in the Book of Revelation. Okay, so this is really good stuff, and I recommend you have a...
The April 16, 1945 issue of Time magazine called in one of the State Department.
I recommend you watch this, and it's a really good video. You need to understand that the forces at work here and the forces have been at play, and how everything is pre-planned, and what we're going through now is all, we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming decades ago. What's happening now? For those of you who have been studying the right stuff. Okay, if you were wondering if this was pre-planned or not, just listen to this. If you missed this, listen to this.
In days. This bill, which of course has been worked on over the past 3 months at incredible pace by a brilliant team of officials.
Have you got that? The officials have been working on the lockdown, the COVID-19 tyranny, for 3 months Yeah, and this is about March the 22nd, this is his speech in Parliament, so that takes us back to January. Okay, in January they were already planning the lockdown. Yeah? What happened in January? No one knew the lockdown was coming in January, but they were already working on it. Hancock gave it away here.
Wasn't Parliament engaged sooner in those 3 months? And as soon as...
Okay, he gave it away. January. It's a pre-planned event, and he's in on it. They're all in on it.
They always start with a kind of storm, like a real powerful storm. And there's always this dark, thick rain, like fresh motor oil. Storm started, something happened. His face, his eyes were different.
By the time they tried to evacuate the cities, it was already too late. The infection was everywhere.
The virus is harvesting. What do you mean 8, 7, and 3 begin life in the lab of the first war with vaccines. Millions died in the first week of the pandemic dreams. We had the deep black death, smallpox, mutated disease, flu shot propaganda for all population and troops. Avoid the plague, it might have slipped into the room. It's now we're born with 5 storms signal our doom. The dead returns with the pissed off zombie moves. The sprinkler system equipped with AUAG, when they round up survivors in the cold facility. Watch the process of terror from the hill near the stream. I remain in the gas mask, I still filter my water clean. This isn't past tense, on the plague of bad things couldn't be eradicated like smallpox in action. Avian influenza with the jet stream is how it happens. 2020 combined with coronavirus, body stacking.
The world is now at the start of the influenza pandemic.
It started as rioting. It was in the street outside. It was coming through your windows.
Sequence the virus and determine its origin.
It was a virus. It was something in the blood.
A virus which has been engineered at genetic level to be helpful rather than harmful.
The city's sick like disease and it can't be cured. Few that remain, their brain stained with the bloodshed. When the smoke screens fade, death disease, you feel a burning sensation, nothing remains. The city's sick like disease and it can't be cured. Few that remain, their brain stained with the bloodshed. When the smoke screens fade, death disease, you feel a burning sensation.
You have to act fast. Grab your gas mask. Bad disaster has passed. Anarchy, cataclysm. Stand guard, please. Blast your big guns. Havoc's begun. Viral outbreak. Tragic things done. Crowds renounce faith. Our church's horror witness. Broke the hopes of optimistic. Scope is post-apocalyptic. Known as harsh and vicious. Gross and darker. Throwing darts blow apart the wicked. Foes know I'm sadistic. Cold, my aura is sick. Soldiers start resistance. Enemy troops in NBC suits. We shoot, then we regroup. Conquer weak with armored fleet. Bomb the streets with Dr. Creep.
The scientific criteria for an influenza pandemic have been met.
You didn't need a doctor to tell you that.
This virus is human.
The radio stopped broadcasting. There were reports of infection in Paris and New York. The army brigades were overrun.
What scientists know about this latest strain?
Decided to raise the level of influenza pandemic alert.
The city's sick like disease and it can't be cured. Few that remain, their brain stained with the bloodshed. When the smoke screens fade, death disease, you feel a burning sensation, nothing remains. The city's sick like disease and it can't be cured. Few that remain, their brain stained with the bloodshed. When the smoke screens fade, death disease, you feel a burning sensation.
Can I look at one of these gas masks?
Sure.
What do you want to look at?